Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about AWS. So we're going to start a new series about AWS. Basically what we're going to do is talk about AWS and going to focus on AWS certifications. Certified Associate Solution Architect certificate, this one. Mostly I'm going to focus on this one, and let me check this mic 1 second. Yeah, so basically my focus is going to be on this certification. I'm going to follow this one, okay? And this is a certification provided by, you can take it from AWS, okay? It's focused on design of cost, performance of optimized solution. This is ideal for starting point for people who want to get into cloud. And AWS is actually number one right now in terms of cloud solutions. So this is the right track to get started. It's the right time. This is the right solution to start with. And basically, we're going to talk about AWS in detail. Okay, so let's just go to AWS here. 1 second. Uh, Let me just go here, aws.amazon.com. So basically, uh, I'm going to start first by creating an account in AWS. Okay, because we're going to implement everything actually practically on this session. So I'm going to start with I'm not going to create a new account because I already created one actually. But if you want to create a new account, all you have to do is just create account here. AWS gives a free tier for try AWS at no cost for up to 6 months. So you can use AWS at no cost for up to 6 months. So you can start with yeah, AWS 100 free credits plus earn 100 by completing various activity. So it's going to give you a free account. You can create a free account. You can use it for test. So we are going to go ahead and sign up. To sign up, first thing you need to set your email here and the name you want to set to the account. And then you're going to receive an email actually. Where you're going to verify the email address. They're going to send you a verification code and you can go ahead and use it. And you have to put your credit card actually. They're not going to charge you anything. They just want to check if the credit card is valid and it has at least $1 in your account. It should have at least $1 for testing purpose. So in case they wanted to test. And one thing about this is you have to fill up this details and then you can sign in. Okay, if you have an existing account, you can sign in with your existing account from here. Okay. Usually when you finish signing up, it's just going to sign you in automatically, and you can just uh, go to the same URL, aws.amazon.com.console. It's going to give you access automatically. Yeah, so for my case, I'm just going to sign in. I'm going to use my own here. Sign in into console. Yeah, I'm just going to say account ID, just mention XOps because I already signed in, so I don't have to do it again. and sign in using root user email. Prefer to sign in using root email user because I'm actually the root user. So next info at next ops dot suits.com, and I'm going to put my password, and I'm going to receive notification on this email. So let me go ahead and try to access my. I'm going to try to access here INS. Let me see if it will let me access this here. Let me check my mobile for verification code. Okay, I received the verification code actually. You recently requested. Yeah, so my verification code is 280085. So let me verify and continue. Keep your account secure. Okay, passkey, secret key authenticator. This is good, but let's skip for now. So this is it. This is how it looks like. This is my account. Okay, AWS account. This is it. Okay. So one thing, if you notice here, we have region. This is what we call by region. Region means like usually it's recommended to select a region that's closest to your location. Like for example, if you are in Virginia, you can choose Virginia because some because there are 17 regions that are enabled for our account. Okay, like if your region is not actually located, is not available on this list, or your location is not available on this list, all you have to do is just choose the nearest uh, region to your location. Okay, so yeah, the reason for this is for network latency. Like for example, if you host a system or website or whatever, يعني, it's going to be much faster if the region you choose is nearest to your location. So yeah, also different regions. Also, don't forget, different regions has different costs. One thing to remember is that different regions have different costs. Also, so for example, maybe the cost in the US might be higher than the cost in Asia, and so on. So each region, the costs also differ. And one more thing you need to know: AWS Amazon.com, the documentation. Amazon actually has documentation. Okay, you can follow it whenever you are stuck with something. So they have detailed documentation here. You can get it from AWS documentation.overview, and you can go through the documentation. Okay, and also we have to, yeah. So first thing after we set up, we have to actually set up billing. We have to go to billing from here, billing and cost management. Okay, so we don't get charged when before we do anything, before we start practicing with AWS. We should set up alerts here, just so we can. For example, here we have. For example, we have. If you go to billing, bill here. Uh, yeah. Uh, this is the billings, and we have here free tier. You see cost and usage analytics. We have free tier here, and no, this is just to take out this way. Okay. Yeah, we can do it in budget. Okay, this is one way to do it. You can just go to the budget, for example, and right now I already set up my zero spending budget. That means it's going to make sure that we don't spend anything uh, from our doesn't. charge us. So what you can do is go to create budget. First, you go to budget here, budget. Okay, you can find it on the left menu. When you go to budget, you have an option to create a budget here. Okay, then you can choose the budget type. I left it at certain the default here, and the template you can leave it. You can choose this one. Create a budget that notifies you once your spending exceeds 0.01. So when if you yeah, your spending exceeds 0.01, it's going to notify you. Okay, or you have an option here, monthly budget or daily or something. So you can put any name here and add an email here. Specify the email recipient you want to notify when the threshold is exceeded. Let's say this is my email. Okay, I want to set it here. Then all AWS services are in scope of the budget. Yes, you will be notified via email when any spend above 0.01 is incurred. This is actually good because now we can create the budget. That's first thing you should do. Okay, I'm not going to do it because I already created a budget here. You see this one? This is created saying okay, healthy, and it's done. Okay, but you should do it also. Is one thing we should do. And the next thing is go to billing preference and settings. You see billing preference here, and we have to make sure that we actually set here the alert. It's saying AWS free tier alert, right? We have to create the alert. We have to select this button, receive AWS free tier alerts. This was disabled before. I selected this one. If this option is selected, your AWS free tier usage alert will be sent to your email that you use to create this account. To send this alert to different email, you can specify here. So this is very clear. This one, and the CloudWatch is actually like monitoring. It's used for monitoring the CPU, the usage and on instances. Yani, we'll talk about. We'll have a separate session for this. No, but right now you have to actually focus on this one. Make sure this is selected. And my case is already selected. Now we are safe to continue with our uh, project, with our practice. So right now, once we do this, we have to go to the next big topic, which is EC2. EC2 is the first thing we should create because it helps us create instances. So EC2 means you can just type EC2 here, okay, and you will get the yeah, this is the first one. Just click this one. So basically EC2 stands for like Elastic Compute Cloud. Okay, that's why EC2, 2 times C, and that means computing cloud. So it's used to create, manage, monitor for virtual servers in the cloud. That's the idea of EC2. Amazon, yeah, EC2 offers a broadcast deep compute platform with over 600 instance types and choice for the latest processor, virtual servers, operating system, and stuff. So EC2 has benefits. Let's say you can fully resizable compute capacity to support virtually any workload. So this is useful if you need highest level of control of the entire technology stack, allowing full integration with all AWS services, widest variety of server size options, widest availability of operating system. Like you can choose if you want to uh, have an instance of Linux or Windows or Mac OS. It's up to you. Global scalability. Yeah. So these are the purpose of EC2. How we can create it? We can just go ahead and launch a virtual server here. Basically, launch instance. You click it, or you can also go to instances here. Okay, and you can click launch instance. These are the instance that I have right now. Okay, this is Windows Server machine, and this is a Linux machine. Okay, uh, yeah. Actually, I don't really need it, so I'm going to delete it and create it from scratch. Okay, so let me just terminate this one, delete, and we're going to talk about termination later on. So delete this one, okay, because I don't need it right now, and I want to create a new instance, okay, like a new server, like Linux or Windows server. Let's start with the Windows server. I can just go to launch instance here, okay. I'm going to choose a name for it. I'm going to call it Windows server, Windows server, and then I have to choose an application and OS image. We call it Amazon Machine Image. If you hear this term, this just means an OS, operating system, right? So we can choose Amazon Linux, Mac OS if you want, Ubuntu, Windows Server, Red Hat, or whatever, right? You have different operating system you can choose from. Okay, what operating system you need the server to be? Right now, I want it to be Windows. Okay, so next, I'm going to go to Amazon image, my machine image, which means OS, and I'm going to go down here. See this one? You see the difference between this and this is that the ones on the top are actually eligible for. We can use it for practice because they are free tier eligible, right? We cannot use this one. This one, if you select anything from the below mentioned, it's going to tell you that it's going to charge you actually additional cost apply for AMI with pre-installed software. So basically, you're going to get charged with it. So make sure that we have this option available, free tier eligibility. Right now, I'm going to choose the Microsoft Windows Server 2016 base, which is eligible for free tier. And next, we have the description of the Windows Data Center Edition. And yeah, so next thing we need to understand is actually instance type. Okay, this is the type of instance. Like we have to also, this is the here when we select anything. Also here we have to follow the same principle that we followed on the top. We have to make sure that we have free tier. The one we select is actually eligible for free tier, so they don't charge us. So I'm going to leave it as default because here we have T3 micro, we have T3 2 CPU, which is enough, 1 GB memory, which is low, considered low actually because 1 GB memory is slow, right? But for test purpose, it's enough. We can click here also compare instance types to see more details. You see here, so we have T1, we have this is the architecture, and this is the memory. This is the storage, this is the storage type, and this is the network performance. So we have selected this one actually, 2 GB, and this one, 1 GB memory, 2 GB, 2 core CPU, and that's it. Yeah, so we can choose different here, but make sure it's eligible for free tier. And next is actually, this is very important because you can use a key pair to securely connect to your instance. Ensure that you have access to a selected key pair before you launch the instance. So this is basically how you will log in to your instance. Okay, like since this is a Windows server machine, okay, we're going to use a remote desktop like this one. Right, we're going to use this remote desktop connection to access it, but it's going to ask us username and password, right? We know that the username is administrator for Windows Server by default. The default username is administrator, right? But the password we have to generate it here. Okay, it's always recommended to create a new key pair here. Okay, let's create a new pair here, and you can name here the key pair Windows Server, Windows Server server 2016 or something, key pair key. Okay, and you can leave this one here, pem.pem. Okay, it's okay. And now click create key pair. Now it's going to download the key here, private. Yeah. Okay. So what you will do, we will deal with it later. Just know that it's this part is done. So next we have network here, subnet. Okay, default subnet in any availability setting. Auto assign public IP. This is important because this is a feature that allows we are just saying auto assign public IP. This is the IP that we are going to use with our remote desktop connection to access the instance, the server here. So I left it like this, auto enable, auto assign, so it will get automatic IP, public IP. Okay, and we'll talk more about this also, and we'll discuss like because about this, and then leave it for now. Leave it like this. And firewall or security group. This is basically we are saying that to allow, like for example, we are making a rule here. Okay, we are saying that anywhere allow from anyone from anywhere to use RDP to access this instance. That's what it means when I click here. Allow RDP traffic from anywhere. It means you can access this server instance in AWS from any IP. Okay, or you can just choose my IP here. This is my IP. This is my IP. Okay, this is more secure, right? But for now, again, leave it anywhere. Okay, we'll talk. We just want to see, but in production, we will choose my IP, I think, because this is our um, yeah, it's more secure. Okay, same thing here. We can allow HTTP traffic from the internet and stuff. And storage, you're specifying how many GB storage you need. Like this, basically, you're just saying how many storage you need, right, on the server. So I'm going to leave it 30 here. This is saying 30, actually 30 GB. Leave it like that. If you want, also you can add more storage. That you can just add new volume here. You can keep it like this. But I don't want to do that now. Like it will be CD or whatever. Okay, and let's continue here. We have advanced detail here. Domain join directory, leave it. IAM, leave it. We'll talk about it on a separate session. Instance auto recovery, leave it. Shutdown behavior is important because we're just saying stop here. We'll leave it as it is. Stop means we have two options: stop or terminate. So stop means it's just going to shut down the instance when you finish your job, when the instance, when you finish your work, you can just shut it down, or it will automatically shut down, right? Stop. But if you choose terminate here, it's just going to delete. Basically, terminate means remove the instance completely. You're going to lose all your data at the instance. So the instance is going to be gone. So leave it at stop. Make sure it's at stop. Here, this is termination protection. Okay, this feature is here because to protect you from accidentally deleting an instance. Okay, or someone deleting an instance by mistake. So you can enable it in protection. If you enable this one, you will not be able to delete the instance, like just like what I did before. You remember I had 3 instances, I just terminated them, right? And that option is not going to be available for me now. It's going to be there, it's going to be grayed out. You're not going to be, it's not going to work, right? You have to come here and disable it. Okay, but for now, just again disable it. Okay, then stop protection. Yeah, detailed CloudWatch monitoring. CloudWatch monitoring. This is used to monitor actually our instance, like CPU storage and many more metrics. Like, but again, we'll have a separate video for this, so we don't need to concern ourselves right now about it. And there is nothing more remaining here for us to do actually. Yeah. So we can just go ahead and launch the instance. Please wait while we launch your instance. Do not close your browser. Okay. So done, right? Just go back to the instance, or go directly, go back to the instance here. You can go here also to check to see all your instance. This two instance that I already removed, terminated, right? But this one I just created. You see the instance state is saying running right now. Okay, and it's checking. And this is the instance type. This is the availability zone. Availability zone is one more thing that we can select actually. The availability zone. Okay, this is basically like a subnet of this can be more than one. We have it on the dashboard. I can show you, or it will list for you all the availability zones. Okay, again, we'll go deeper. So yeah. So right now, what concerns us is when we select, you have to select this one. If you don't select this one, it's not going to give you this list, this detailed, right? You have to select this one, make sure this is selected, and go ahead and go to the detail panel. You can see the public IP here. This is our public IP. Okay, so right now we have the public IP, right? I just copy this one and I can go here and type remote desktop access connection here, RDP, and paste the public IP. That's it. Okay, to access my Windows server, then connect. It's going to ask us for username and password. For username, we know that Windows Server always have administrator default password, right? The password we don't know yet. How do? We get the password? We have to go to actions here. We go to security, get window password. Remember this: actions, security, get window password. Okay, so password is not available. Please wait at least 4 minutes after launching an instance before trying to retrieve auto generation. So we are going to wait because we just started the instance, right? We just created it and started it. So we have to wait 4 minutes before it's going to be uh, running. So let's go ahead and wait for 4 minutes. We're going to wait for 4 minutes. Let me go ahead and refresh it. Done. So now you see what it's telling is we have to upload the private key file. This is the key that we downloaded before, right? So we just have to upload it. When we upload it, we just have to go to downloads, Windows key, and go ahead and decrypt the password. So once we decrypt the password, it's going to give us the instance ID. It's important. The private IP. Private IP, we don't really need it. Remember, we use the public IP to access the IP. The administrator, we know about it. This is the password. You just copy this one and go ahead and type it here and click OK. Okay. It's working. The reason it's not working for me, actually, I'm not sure because it's not working on my PC specifically, but actually it works on a different PC. To show you, I'm going to go ahead and connect myself to another PC. Okay, so let me just connect to a different PC. Okay, I'm going to go and connect to another PC. Actually, this is a separate PC. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try to connect the to AWS from my from uh, from a separate PC. Okay, because yeah, let me just copy the username here to show you how it will work. So just connect here. Uh, no, sorry. We're supposed to put the public IP actually. So just copy the password. Go ahead and put it like uh, or go to instance, and another instance, go to instance here. Okay, this is the instance that's running, and we can copy the public IP here. Copy the public IP, connect, and we will put the username, which is administrator, and the password. We're just going to copy this password that we got from the AWS instance, and then click OK, and then yes, done. So we were able to access the Windows Server, the instance that we just created. So give it some time. So you see now this is what we got. You see EC2 feedback, EC2 Microsoft. This is our uh, our our instance that we just created. We can just click IP config and see what's the IP. Yeah, you see, this is the internal IP. This is how we confirm that this is our server. 172.3.1.2.7.1, right? If you go back to here on the instance, 172.3.1.2.7.1. So this is how we know that this is our server, right? Our instance. So right now, what we can do is basically, yeah, that's it. So now this is how we can access our instance. We can do whatever we want inside the Windows Server. So now I'm going to close it because, again, this is just the initial first day, so we're not going to talk more about this. The next step, now that we finished creating our instance here, okay, we're going to do another instance for Linux. Okay, this is Windows Server instance. Now I'm going to create another instance for Linux. Okay, going to launch instance here. I'm going to create a new server for Linux server. Okay, let me just go ahead and choose. I can leave it as it is, Amazon Linux, or I can choose Ubuntu. It's up to you. So Linux, Red Hat, whatever. Yeah. Going to keep it as it is. Again, we have to make sure this is free. It says free tier. The instance type is free tier, and the OS and the AMI is also free tier. And here, instance type has to be free tier also. And make sure to put the key, create a new key pair. We'll do the same for Linux, but for Linux, I'm just going to use a different extension. We have to use PPK, so we can access it from PuTTY. Okay, this will make it simple for you. So for Linux, select PPK, not PAM, and then create key pair. Just let's give it a name here, Linux key. Create a key pair here. This is it, and then we will do the same thing, and we're going to use SSH. Remember, and there is no RDP in Linux. In Linux, we have to use SSH. We can use SSH using a tool called PuTTY. If you remember it in our Cisco course, we were using this one to make configuration on the router or switches. So this is SSH, okay, and allow leave it. It says 8 here, but leave it 8, no problem for now. And there is not much we need to do actually, but I want to just enable terminate protection just so I can show you something. Enable the terminate protection just so I can show you, okay, and we can just go ahead and launch the instance. Okay, now that we can go back to instance, and this is our Linux server. Now we just want to select it, and in our case here, in order to access our Linux server, we need the public IP, of course, here, this one. We copy this one. We open PuTTY. Then we paste the public IP and we select SSH. And if you want to load the session, you can just load a new session here. You can name it here Linux session, and just load it. Okay. No. 1 second. Uh, yeah. But we don't really need. This has nothing to do for now. For now, okay. Let's continue. So basically, something came up. So let me make sure it's working. Yes. So we can go ahead and continue. So again, we just need the public IP, right? So we got the public IP. Then you go to SSH and you choose authentication here. You open it. You go to credentials. Okay. Here we choose the private key that we extracted. Okay. Then click open and accept. Give it some time because here also we have to wait for some time because it's still initializing, right? Same case with the Windows. We will wait for some time. Give it some time. Close this one. We'll do it again. So let's just refresh to see whether it's finished or so. Uh-huh. I think it's done now. We can just go ahead and try it now. Open PuTTY. We'll do it again. PuTTY. And yeah. So I'm just going to paste this one. Leave everything as it is. Go to SSH, authentication, credentials, and put the private key here. Linux key. Click open. Not supported build servers and public key. Let me check if it is because I did it before. Actually, it worked on my PC, but there must be some reason for this. 1 second. Let me try to do it one more time. If it doesn't work, it's okay. We will just go ahead and try it one time here, and you can try it on your own also. This is the public key, private key file for authentication, and this is the PPK. Okay, this is what we chose, and then we click open. So it should work actually. It did before for me. Okay. No, it's still working because let me I understand now. 1 second. We made a mistake actually. The mistake is that we in Linux we can't just use the same IP. We have to add EC2 user here. Okay, and we use at, and we have to before putting the IP. Now we can put the IP. We just copy this one, copy the IP, and put it here. Okay, we have to make sure that you add ECT dash user and add the rate here. Then only it will work. So go ahead, go to SSH, authentication, credentials, private key, Linux key, open, done. See, we are authenticated. You can see it's saying here Amazon Linux 2023, HTTP 2023. You can do whatever you want here. So we were able to access our Amazon uh, instance server. So now I'm just going to close this. We don't need to interact with it anymore. Since this is our first video, we just need to understand this. Okay, and one more thing. Now let's say I want to delete this one. I go to instance state. I can terminate, right? Delete this one. Termination protection enabled. Okay. To confirm, if you want to delete, choose the terminate button below. Instance with termination protection enabled will not be terminated. Fail to terminate an instance. Instance may not be terminated. See, I was not able to delete this one. I can't delete it because I made the protection there. But let's say I want to turn it off. This is server, this instance. I can just stop instance here, right? I want to restart, I can just reboot instance from here. You can just do all this from instance state here. Okay. In actions allows you to change also the uh, here we have change termination protection. If I select this one, it's going to do. Let's change it. Okay, termination protection. It's enabled, right? Disable it now. Save. Okay, now let me go ahead and delete it. Successfully initiated termination. So shutting down. Done. So it's deleting basically. It's going to shut it down, then it's going to delete. That's the idea. Okay, we have here also actions, instance settings. We can change shutdown behavior, protect. Okay, some other things here, but we don't need to concern ourselves right now. Networking, we can change the IP and stuff. Security, you can get the password. We can change also security group from here itself, from actions. Like if you want to, yeah, you can change the storage, increase the volume, or monitor, troubleshoot. All the stuff you can be done from here itself, from the instance page. But right now, what we want to do is like I want to do something. I will create one. We want to try something called Elastic IPs. Okay, Elastic IPs are basically uh, right now we have this public IP, right? This public IP is always changing. It's not fixed to this instance. Okay, maybe after a while the IP will change, right? So we use this public DNS, right? But let's say we want to assign a single IP for this different IP. Okay, different IP. We want a static IP, not automatic. We want a static IP only to assign it to this server, always to access the server using the static IP. I don't want to use this IP because it could easily change. So I can do this by using something called Elastic IP. This one, Elastic IPs. Okay. So basically, but in order to do this, we have to go ahead and create another instance. Okay, I'm going to terminate this one. Okay, this Windows Server instance. Okay, I'm going to create a new instance. Okay, but this time I'm not going to select Win Server. Okay, this time I'm going to choose Windows. Okay, I'm going to keep it as it is. I'm not going to leave the security group as it is. Just this one. Auto assign public IP. It's enabled, right? We need to actually change it. I think it can be changed by advanced details here. One second. Where is network settings? No, there is an option to change this one. It's enabled by default, but we have, yeah, here, edit. Okay, edit, an option here. You click it. You can, and remember to select availability zone. We didn't select it until now, the subnet and availability zone. Okay, I'm going to choose this one. Okay, and yeah, the subnet, I'm going to choose this one, and availability zone, yeah. Here we have auto assign public IP. So I'm going to disable it. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to launch. So now it's not going to get an IP. Okay, I didn't create any, but I'm going to use the same key that I used in the previous session. I don't want to create a new pair for now. Okay, I'm going to use the same one. Okay, done. So now I'm going to go to the instance here. I'm going to go ahead, click. You see, there is no public IP here. Nothing. We have a private IP, but we don't have a public IP because we disabled it. We disabled auto assign, right? So now I want to go ahead and make a static IP here. First, I will go to Elastic IPs here under network and security, allocate Elastic IP address, and then I'm going to go ahead and yeah, choose yeah, you can choose allocate here, and it's going to give us public IP. Elastic IP allocated successfully. Okay, it gave us a public IP. So what I can do is select this public IP that we got from Elastic IP, allocate Elastic IP address, and then allocate it. 1 second. It actually allocated it, but 1 second. No, 1 second. What we did, I don't know what we did here. Release both. Release Elastic IPs. Okay, both will be released. Okay. Right now, we want to allocate Elastic IP. No, not allocate. 1 second. Go to Elastic IP. Refresh. Okay, I'm going to allocate network borders, whatever. Amazon pool IP tag optional allocate. So now what I should do is select this one actually. You have to select this one. Once you select it, you have to go to actions and associate Elastic IP address. Okay, associate to attach it to the instance. Or you can click from here. You will get the associate option, right? Associate this Elastic IP address. Click it, and it's going to give ask you to which server you want to. You can choose an instance here. I'm going to choose my Windows server, and you can keep that one. And then I'm just going to associate. Done. So now we can just go back to our instance to see this is our Windows server. You can see this one. This Windows server got this IP, right? It's public IP, and then we can access it. I'm not going to try to do it because if I have to, then yeah. Or let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it. No problem. No. Okay. Let's try it. Let's try it. It's going to work. By the way, we just have to go ahead and type here the same thing that we used to try here on this PC is going to work. Okay, but leave it. Let's just no need to try it because we already tried it, right? Just understand the concept here. Okay, this is how we assign static IP. Okay, and yeah, now we can conclude our session. But before doing that, I want to just talk about what we have a quick recap. So yeah, AMI means basically operating system. Just we understand this one. So we usually use Ubuntu server. Okay, more and choose the correct instance type. Instance type determines CPU and RAM. We've seen that, for example, some instance type, the T3 micro, for example, it has two CPU cores, right? 1 GB RAM. This is for small lab. And here you can see T3 small, it has 2 GB. Okay, here T3 medium, we have 4 GB. So make sure you check those things before you select the instance type. Yeah, T3 is for learning is enough, and always use a key pair. Key pair is required to log in security. Yeah, it's like I told you, you have to make sure we create a key pair. Okay. Yeah, without it, we cannot access the interface. So, and configure security group. Security group is basically like a cloud firewall. Okay, controls who can access your server. Okay, so until now we were playing with we set anyone can on the internet can connect, right? We can also the in production we have to choose my IP only our, so we can only connect to the instance, not others. Okay, so yeah, this are the ports that we need to remember. With SSH is 22.3389 is for RDP, and yeah, storage we know about it. 30 GB is coming by default. We can enable ABS encryption, which protects data, secure and snapshot. Use instance tag. Always tag resources. Again, this stuff is actually enable monitoring. CloudWatch monitors CPU, network, disk, system health. All this helps detect performance attacking and stuff. And IMDS v2 is instance metadata service, protects credentials from attack. So control costs you pay only while instance is running. Okay. So example this one. Stop instance when finished. Yeah. So this is one important concept actually. Let's say you're running an instance there. They're only going to charge you if you're running the instance. You can stop it when you finish. Compute cost stops. You still pay small amount for EBS storage, but the compute cost stops. Basic post launch setup. Elastic IP, we said that it's just a static public IP. You reserve, yeah, an AWS, attach it to EC2 instance, so the IP never changes. It's a feature in AWS used with them. Yeah, normally when you launch EC2, AWS assigns a public IP. If you stop or start the instance, the IP changes, right? So your website points to an IP client DNS record. So Elastic IP is permanent public IP. Okay, even if the instance stops or restarts, the Elastic IP stays the same. You simply reattach it to the instance. And that's all for today's session. And thank you for watching, and see you on the next